Hola y bienvenidos a este video en el que vamos a aprender a utilizar el futuro próximo. Hello and welcome to this video in which we're going to be learning to use the near future tense. Now that's the future tense which you use not for saying what you will do, but for saying what's going to happen or what you're going to do in the immediate or in the near future. Las metas de esta clase son aprender a conjugar el verbo ir, poder usar el verbo ir en sus 6 formas y poder agregarle un infinitivo para crear o formar el futuro próximo. The goals of this lesson are to learn to conjugate the verb to go, which is the verb ir. Now if you've seen that before, this would be revision for you. It's always good to go back over those conjugations. And we want to be able to use all 6 conjugations. The I go, you go, he goes, she goes, singular they go, we go, and so on. And we want to be able to add an infinitive to this to then create the near future tense. So having that verb ir really secure in the present tense is the key to unlocking the near future tense. So the verb ir is to go. It's irregular, so we know normally there are AR verbs, ER verbs, IR verbs. This one is irregular. Actually the verb is just spelled IR, but it's not technically an IR verb. It goes into 6 forms which look nothing like the infinitive. So ir is to go. I could say me gusta ir a la playa, I like to go to the beach. But if I say I go to the beach or he goes to the beach, I need to put it into the present tense. So I can say voy, I go. And remember that the V in Spanish is pronounced like a B, so it's not voy, but boy, a bit like girl, boy, that kind of boy. Vas, you go, use singular go. Va, which is he goes, she goes, it goes, or singular they go. Vamos, which is we go, and you can use that to say let's go as well. Okay, vamos. Vais, which means you plural go, if you're speaking to a group of friends. And finally van, which means they go, they plural, so a group of people. Where are they going? ¿A dónde van ellos? ¿A dónde van mis padres? Where are my parents going? En el verano voy a la playa. In the summer I go to the beach. Para las vacaciones normalmente vamos a la costa. For the holidays, normally we go to the coast. Voy a la biblioteca para estudiar. I go to the library in order to study. If you haven't seen how to use para with a verb, there's another video on that which is worth checking out. It really expands and improve your Spanish. Now if you've seen the verb ir for the first time, or you've seen it before but you haven't fully memorized the 6 forms in the present tense, I'll give you a tip to help you remember it. Because I've said ir is an irregular verb, voy, vas, it doesn't look anything like the infinitive. We're used to verbs like bailar, to dance, then going bailó, bailas, baila. The stem is coming from the infinitive. With ir, it's not. We've got IR, but then immediately we go to something starting with V. It's a bit of a strange one. However, it does kind of follow the AR verb endings. The first one has an O. It does get a Y. That's just one thing we need to remember. But then actually the rest of them are quite standard. As long as we remember that our verb ending is a V, our verb stem is a V, then we've got as a, amos, ais, an. Kind of like o, as a, amos, ais, an. Voy, vas, va, vamos, vais, van. Quite easy. So it shouldn't be too hard for us to memorize those 6 forms of the verb to go. Obviously, to begin with, the most important one to remember is I go, boy. So we can at least start talking about what we're going to do in the future. And then we can add in the others as we get more confident with them. Now, knowing the verb to go in its 6 forms in the present tense is a really great step in learning Spanish because it allows you to say so much. But without knowing how to form the near future tense, we're just stuck in the present. I can say I go to the library, normally on holiday we go to France, but I can't say I'm going to go to the library or I'm going to travel by plane to France. So what we need to add to this now is a and then an infinitive verb. It's very simple, just like in English. I'm going to and then a verb. He's going to and then a verb. He's going to dance. I'm going to eat. Exactly the same structure. So once again we've got our verb to go. Now with this we know that boy means I go, but it can also mean I'm going. Vas, you go, you're going. And for the sake of forming the near future tense, it makes sense to translate this as I'm going and you're going with the ing, what we call the present continuous in English, or the gerund. And then we add to and then a verb. So voy a ir, I'm going to go. Vas a jugar, you're going to play. Mi hermano va a visitar mi primo. My brother's going to visit my cousin. Nosotros vamos a comer. We're going to eat. Mis amigas y yo vamos a comer pizza. My friends and I, we're going to eat pizza. Vais a escribir. You guys are going to write. Mis padres van a ser abuelos. My parents are going to be grandparents. I should clarify in case my parents see this. That's not me breaking any news. Just a random example. Vamos a ver una película. We are going to watch a film. So, just like in English, it's very, very simple to form the verb to go to infinitive verb. Ir plus a plus infinitivo. Voy a visitar. Vamos a jugar. Just those three things, and then all of a sudden you've opened the doors to the near future tense. If you've never learned the future tense or other tenses before, this is an amazing stage to reach in your Spanish learning, because being stuck in the present is great. You can say your likes, your dislikes, what you normally do, where you normally go on holiday, you can talk about your friends, your family, but as soon as someone says, so, what are you up to on the weekend? Oh my god, I don't know how to talk about the weekend. What are your plans when you leave school? I don't know. I do know, but I can't say it in Spanish. With this, even if you want to say, I will do such and such, you can still say, I'm going to do such and such. Tomorrow it will rain, or I haven't learned how to say it will, but I know how to say it's going to rain. You can still express anything you need to express about the future using this very simple and easy to form future tense. So now that we're familiar with how to form the near future tense with those three things, I'm going to give you some examples and I want you to think about what they mean. You can pause the video if you want and then I'll tell you. Este verano voy a ir a la playa. This summer I'm going to go to the beach. Next one. Mañana voy a comer en un restaurante. Mañana voy a comer en un restaurante. Quick think. What could it mean? Follow the three steps. Voy, I'm going, a, to, comer, eat. En un restaurante. Tomorrow I'm going to eat in a restaurant. Este fin de, short for este fin de semana, this weekend. Mis padres y yo vamos a visitar a mis abuelos. Pause the video or just take a moment to think. This weekend, my parents and I are going to visit my grandparents. Now, I could say my parents and I, we're going to visit, because that's literally what it says. But when I've already said the subject, my parents and I, my friends and I don't need to repeat the word we. So I can just say my parents and I are going. But I still have to use the we form. The same as if I said my parents, they are going. I can say my parents are going, but I have to use the they form. My brother is going. My brother, he is going, but I can leave out the he in the translation. But we need to be careful that we're using the correct form of the verb. So, ba, if I'm talking about he, she, it, singular they. Vamos, if I'm talking about me, a group of people that includes me. And van, if I'm talking about others, more than one other. Finally, va a ser fantástico, nice way to give an opinion phrase about something that's going to happen in the future. Va a ser fantástico. It's going to be fantastic. So I could say, if someone says, what are you doing tomorrow? Mañana voy a comer pizza en un restaurante. Va a ser fantástico. It's going to be fantastic. Tomorrow I'm going to eat pizza in a restaurant. It's going to be fantastic. Or I could say, va a ser deliciosa. Pizza's, it's going to be delicious. So now that we've had a chance to do some Spanish to English translation, this should start to make sense, and hopefully we're grasping how to form this tense, how to understand this tense when we come across it. But just one final bit of practice is to now do some English into Spanish translations, which are just a little bit harder. But to help you, I've given you here the future time phrases, lots of different ones you can use to make all sorts of sentences. Your verb to go, however I've taken away the English now to add a bit of challenge, and some infinitive verbs. Phrases that include an infinitive verb. So we've got tomorrow I'm going to visit the castle, tonight we're going to eat pizza, today they're going to play football, someday I'm going to be a lawyer. I want you to put those into Spanish. You can do this just thinking to yourself, or you can write it on a piece of paper or in your Spanish book if you're a student. Pause the video, take a few minutes to do that, and then press play when you're ready to go through the answers. Okay, let's go through the answers. Número uno. Number one. Tomorrow I'm going to visit the castle. Mañana voy a visitar el castillo. Número dos. Esta noche vamos a comer pizza. 3. Hoy Van a jugar al fútbol. 4. Algún día voy a ser abogado o abogada. So abogado is for a boy, a male. Abogada is the female version. And that's the near future tense. It's really quite simple, just those 3 steps. The verb to go in the present tense, a, infinitive verb, and you're done. Now, to give you a chance to practice this even more, we've got lots of time phrases there and different activities you could do. If you'd like to pause the video and just think of how would I say this, or if I said this, what would it mean? You can write some phrases out in Spanish and English. It just gives you an opportunity to practice this a tiny bit more. But if you're feeling confident, you're feeling like that's it, then that's literally how simple it is to start using the future tense in Spanish. Just a quick reminder to hit that like button if you found this video useful, if you found it interesting. It's just a click of a button or a tap of the screen for you, but it really means a lot to me and it helps me to know which videos people have found most useful as well. Also, if you have any comments, please do use the comment function below. You can say something that you learned, something that you found a bit difficult, and again, it will help me to plan future videos. And if you haven't already done so, please do hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any of the future videos that I'll be posting. If you really don't want to miss out on any of them, you can also turn on notifications.